It is day 27 on the Camino Frances. We're breaking it down with the help of Google Earth Pro. This is supplemental material to the vlog series that I shot 3 years ago in 2017. And today happens to be the second Sunday in May in many countries. That is Mother's Day. And every 7 years it lines up with my birthday. It was my 38th birthday on the Camino Frances, an experience that I wish everyone could share.
All right, whatever.
I am 41 right now, and at the time I was feeling old, so let's not even go in there. Today is going to be a nice downhill walk towards the end of today's stage because we got a couple of hills that we had to climb, but nothing compared to what we've done in the last couple of days. It's a short 20-kilometer day, and I will get to the Albergue around 12 p.m. But before we go into today's stage, let's go over the Camino de Santiago as a whole so that by the time you guys get there, especially the ones that just joined us, you'll know it like the back of your hand. The Camino de Santiago, the Camino Frances, stretches about 800 kilometers from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port in France all the way to Santiago de Compostela, and the lucky ones going extra 100 kilometers to Fisterra or Muxia, or both. I recommend you do both, as I did, in separate trips. As you make your way westbound across northern Spain, you're going to go through different autonomous regions and provinces, and we start with Navarra, followed by La Rioja, and then we enter Castilla y León. Within Castilla y León, we have Burgos, followed by Palencia, and then León. Right now, we're in Galicia, the last autonomous regions, and within Galicia, we have Lugo, followed by A Coruña. Now, we are in Cebreiro, the first town in Galicia, so many pilgrims, the ones that decide to do the Camino de Santiago within Galicia, can start here in Cebreiro, so expect an influx of pilgrims. If you're doing the Camino Portuguese in the coast, as I did last year, that will be Aguardia or Tui, another one for the Camino Portuguese, the central route. If you're doing the Camino del Norte, then that will be Ribadeo. Now, if you do decide to start in Cebreiro, then you can get to Santiago in under 8 days. I did it in 6 because I was pushing myself. Fernando and Ramon were trying to get a flight back home, so I got to Santiago a day ahead of schedule. I did a couple of double days. For example, when I walked from Puerto Marín to Melide, and then from Melide to a town in between Arzúa and Opedroso, and then finally to Santiago de Compostela. I wanted to get there on May 20th because that is Cuba's independence from Spain, but I ended up getting there the day before on May 19th. Sarria to Santiago is the last 100 kilometers. In case you want a Compostela, then that is the minimum that you have to do to get one. Here's today's stage. We're going to break it down with the help of the elevation profile, 20.4 kilometers. As you can see, we're going to stay in high elevation around 1,300 meters for the majority of the day, and around the 75% of the way, then we're going to descend all the way to Triacastela. We have a bunch of villages along the way because they're not even towns, it's just a collection of a few houses, but we do have places to stop and get something to eat for lunch, as a snack, to refill your water bottle, and we also got a few highlights in today's stage. The day started nice and early at 6 a.m. and not by choice. There was a group of pilgrims, Italian pilgrims, that the minute they woke up, they turned the light on. And that is something that you just do not do. But as I mentioned before, Cebreiro is a popular place to start your Camino. So you're going to have a clash between the pilgrims that have been walking from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port with the ones that are starting now. So if you wake up at 6 a.m., please do not turn on the lights on. You do that when everybody's up from their beds. And that's not all. The night before, they showed up here in Cebreiro pretty late at night, like around 7 or 8 o'clock. So when they went to take a shower, the heater was off, and they made a big deal about it. They were also complaining when I was having dinner because their salads didn't have as much cheese as they wanted to. So, you know, the clash. I was out of the albergue at 6:45 in the morning, and the three of us decided to have breakfast in the next town. So we headed out, making our way through the woods here. Spectacular views of the valley down below. I mean, today is going to be one of the best days if you want to see the landscape, the Galician mountains. You're going to go through small villages that make their living with cattle. So you're going to see a lot of cows, the Galician blonde. So yeah, we make our way through the forest and then to Liñares, where they have a beautiful water fountain here. They have Iglesia Santo Esteve de Liñares, And the albergue and the bar were closed. I guess it was too early in the morning, so we continue on. Now today we're gonna be trailing a main road, but as days pass, we're gonna be going in and out next to it on a dedicated path for pilgrims, so nothing to worry about. So at 7:45 in the morning, I made it to Alto de San Roque at 1,200 meters of elevation. And here they have a statue that by the looks of it, you can tell that this is a very windy and cold area, even in the summer. So I got a couple of shots here and then continue on walking, following the road to the next village. And that is the village of Hospital, named after an old hospice that used to be here. It was 8 o'clock in the morning, 25% of the day already behind us. It's a short day, 20 kilometers. And here we did have breakfast at the bar that was open. I went in. It was a nice atmosphere because they had a fire. You could hear the locals having breakfast here, speaking Gallego. I had an empanada that was massive and a café con leche that would last me all the way to lunch in Triacastela. Made my way past the Iglesia de Hospital. At 8:45, we were leaving the town, following the main road, going up and down through the hills. And at this point, we gotta climb 130 meters to El Alto de Poio, the highest point on today's stage, gradually making our way up until Padornello. 9:16 in the morning, another water fountain and Iglesia de San Juan as well, where I couldn't contain myself and I had to ring the bell before today's climb. We had 100 meters or so and it was quite steep at 1,335 meters of elevation. Now from up here, you have an albergue with a bar. You have two albergues. It was 9:23 in the morning and I got some shots with the drone here. I bump into Francisco once again, and we walked together, the four of us, all the way to Triacastela. It was quite cold and windy from up here, so we decided to continue on walking, following the road. We're at the halfway point of today already. We're gonna make it to Triacastela around noon, and the next village is Fonfria, where they have a beautiful maison and a couple of albergues. Small villages. You get to see the Galician cows here, the cattle, as we're doing a little bit of a village hopping from one to the other. The next one, Viduedo, here we stop at a bar and I had a freshly squeezed orange juice and I also got a stamp on my pilgrim passport. Here they have Ermita de San Pedro de Viduedo, the smallest chapel that I've ever seen in my life. I went in there trying to see if I could get a shot of the altarpiece, but the doors were closed. Luckily for me, I could just zoom in through the cracks and get my shot. It was already 11 o'clock in the morning as we left the town, making our way through the forest here, getting spectacular views of the valley down below. And also here, the 75% of the way is where we start our descent all the way down to Tríacastela. The next village is Fillobal, where I saw my first jorreo in the region. It was almost noon already and the four of us were walking by the road past this rest area, going over the main road every now and then. Made it to the next village of Pasante. It was 12:10 in the afternoon and I got to see a donkey here, so I got to have a little moment with it. Say goodbye to the donkey and continue on walking. Almost at the end of today's stage, made it to Triacastela at 12:34 in the afternoon. Now, Triacastela, or Three Castles, references the three castles that used to be here. So I made a sharp left turn to the municipal albergue, where we had to wait until 1 p.m. before they open it. Now, this town has plenty of accommodations, pensiones, hotels, hostels, so you're covered. They also have a few restaurants where you can have dinner. They have Iglesia de Triacastela from 1790 and a cemetery with tombs from like the 1800s. Great thing about making it to the albergue before it opens is that you get your pick of the bottom bunk beds, the ones that you want. Also, the laundry in Galicia is very inexpensive, so the three of us decided to pull in our clothes and get them washed, so there was no need to do them by hand. 1:46 in the afternoon, we crossed the street to a bar to have lunch, and I had my birthday lunch here. I had wine, beer, cold cuts, salad. I also had a lomo with fries. I mean, I really overdid it, but it was my birthday. What are you gonna do? In the afternoon, I decided to explore the town, making my way through the small, narrow streets, which I enjoy so much. I got some shots with the drone of the area, and then at night around 7:30 is when I had my dinner in the same bar where I had my lunch with my friends. And that was day 27, guys. Tomorrow we make it to Sarria. And up ahead is the last 100 kilometers to Santiago. 5 more videos until we're done. It's gonna be a good day because we have a choice to make. You can make a left turn or a right turn, go through the monastery, or just go straight to Sarria. Which one am I gonna do? I guess you'll find out on tomorrow's video.